My name is John Robinson, and this is Disability in the Public Square. Today, Annie and I are going to be talking about recreation, and it's extremely important for individuals with disabilities. The American with Disabilities Act has opened opportunities up for us to be able to travel, to be able to find accessible space, and one of the offshoots of that is recreation. As you hear Cory Lee's story, I'm going to follow up with some comments about my personal experience, both traveling around the world as a speaker, traveling around the world as a golfer, and the some of the work that Doug Hamlin and I did on Journey along the Erie Canal and then Journey along the Scottish canals as we traveled cycling.
Cory Lee is an accessibility advocate, founder of Curb Free with Cory Lee and the Curb Free Foundation. As of July 6th, Cory has been named Chatter Magazine's 20 Under 40 list due to his significant and admirable advocacy for wheelchair accessible travel. He publishes wheelchair accessible travel guides for his followers, which has accessibility information for cities all over the world. He has visited over 50 countries, and he posts these guides to his blog, Curb Free with Cory Lee. He also creates videos and content to both entertain and inform his followers of wheelchair accessible activities and excursions. Cory participates in everything from adaptive paragliding to camel rides, helicopter tours, beach getaways, Red Rock concerts, and even Disney cruises. He's been featured in a Super Bowl commercial for Google Workspace due to his entrepreneurial endeavors, and he's even been on The Kelly Clarkson Show. He now has another impressive accolade to add to his resume. Congratulations to Cory. We'll now hear from John Robinson, founder and CEO of Our Ability and this podcast. He'll discuss his thoughts on Cory's success and provide advice around starting a business related to helping individuals with disabilities, just like he and Cory have done.
Growing up as an individual with a disability, I was drawn to sports. I enjoyed sports immensely, both participating a little bit in Little League Baseball and then watching baseball, football, hockey. I really enjoyed it, but realized how much I missed out. I went to high school in the 1980s, and there really was very little adaptive sport. My father cut down some golf clubs. Thank goodness he knew I was left-handed, cut down a 7-iron and a putter for me when I was 8 years old. And I had the opportunity to play golf ever since I was 8 years old. My grandfather built a little 4-hole golf course, allowed me to cut holes into the ground and put some margarine cups on his dairy farm so that I had a little golf course to be able to play. My uncle then would take me out on Friday afternoons. My father would take me out during the spring and fall when I was at home to play golf. Then eventually my friends invited me to play. So golf became my very first outlet in adaptive sport. And I adapted myself. That was the way it was. I didn't have other golfers with disabilities to be able to look at. What Annie's talking about with Cory is fantastic. Cory is an influencer. He's able to share stories about the recreation that goes on in a wheelchair, and that is fantastic. Younger people in wheelchairs need this. I didn't have that. I didn't have anybody else to look to see what was going on. I'm also too old to be an influencer, so that's not going to work. But I am happy to tell people the story of how I started golfing and why I started golfing, and the fact that I enjoy it immensely. I probably play 75 times a year. Just this past month, I had the opportunity to travel to Ireland. I played with 2 groups of friends of mine and had 7 rounds over there and enjoyed myself a great deal. I've seen over the years how golf for people with disabilities has transformed. My very first trip to Ireland years ago, there were no carts. I was the only person to be able to use a cart. And now when I travel, I realize carts are almost normal in an old golfing country such as Ireland, and that's fantastic. And it means that there are more people with disabilities out there. Also, I have the perspective of hand cycling. In 2013, Doug Hamlin and I started our hand cycling journey across New York State along the Erie Canal. And over the 7 years that we did that, we realized how, even in a 7-year period, the accessibility, the recreation of individuals with disabilities has grown. From 2013 to 2019, there were more disabled launches for kayaks. There was more disabled ramps for wheelchairs. There was more disabled biking opportunities along the hand cycle path, as we saw. And I think we had a small part in that. As the years went by, New York State kept asking us and inviting us to be part of the accessibility conversation because of what we saw as we hand cycled across New York State. It's wonderful to be able to share these stories. Even more important, it was wonderful to get out and hand cycle and just be a cyclist. I wasn't a disabled cyclist. I was a cyclist with a friend of mine, Doug Hamlin, and our families. When I golf, I'm not just a disabled golfer, I'm a golfer. And that's what's really good. I imagine other people with disabilities that have adapted their own sports environment around them feel the same way. You're just out there enjoying freedom, enjoying movement, enjoying physical activity as much as you can. And if you've created your own environment around you, if not have found an environment that's built for you, it is a wonderful thing. In 2012, I had the opportunity to go to the London Paralympics and watch worldwide Paralympic athletes compete against each other. They weren't just disabled athletes, they were athletes. And it wasn't just disabled competition, it was competition. I took from that I'm not abnormal. That when I want to golf, when I want to hand cycle, when I want to participate, that desire within me is the same as able-bodied individuals as well. And it took thousands of Paralympic athletes to show it to me. Disability in the public square includes recreation and accommodation. And sometimes it means we find our own path even in the recreational opportunities. And that's wonderful. I'm glad you've listened. Be thinking about how you can support Paralympic and Special Olympic opportunities because it is so very vital to those of us with disabilities. Thank you very much.